Hellcat? Nope. Trackhawk? Yeah. We're taking this today.
Okay, no worries. I was just stopping by because I've been doing some work on the street. So, is that who's a Hellcat?
Oh, that's my husband.
Tell him that is a sick ride, please.
I definitely will let him know.
It's been quite some time since the last update on the vehicle. Yes, I still have it. A lot of people thought I sold it. I just didn't use it all 2022. It's been sitting in the garage. It's not my daily. Here's a few things that are new with the vehicle. I'm gonna explain it all. Of course, got some gauges up, but we'll get into that in a second. Do you guys think she's low enough? Every time I bring it in. She's sitting on Demon Springs. This is how far off the ground the vehicle actually is. That's the headers. It's kind of a pain driving it this drop, but since it's not a daily, don't really care much for it. This is how she sits. And yes, you can see the headers right through. Well, this side is kind of tough to see. Now, as far as the engine, it's gotten a few upgrades. And don't let this fool you. That's not to the motor. That's just for show. It's a purge system. Alright, like explained, the vehicle now has some gauges installed. The placement, a lot of people might not like it, but it's my vehicle. I like the way it looks. This right here reads the boost, how much boost you've hit. Every key cycle it goes back to 0. But this is the new boost gauge. This is the E85 content reader, the purity, the percentage of E85. So every time the tank is filled, it gives me a update of what's the purity of the E85, which, again, my preference, my vehicle. I like the way it looks. Has full exhaust, long tube headers. Has Corsa Extreme front to back with the 5-inch tips. No resonator, no cats. Let me go ahead and show you how it sounds. hopefully this comes out good. I'm not really good with recording myself and speaking, but here's a list of what I would like to mention that's on the vehicle. So as far as an intake, the vehicle has a leg maker intake, and to us that is the best intake for this vehicle. The whining is the loudest. I'm not speaking bad on JLT or anything, but preference leg maker. The vehicle has a one-piece aluminum drive shaft. Can't remember the brand. I do have the receipt. I'll just have to go through it. I have every single receipt for everything done to the vehicle. Of course, 309 LSD 8-speed differential brace, cradle lock for the aluminum drive shaft, Cook's long tube headers, Cook's mid pipe, Corsa Extreme catback exhaust with the 5-inch tip. Love this exhaust. I would recommend it to anybody. But it is kind of loud. Of course, you can tell by some of the videos. It cuts off a lot. It damages with the, it interferes with the microphone, but it's loud. Sounds good. It's a deep tone. It's not raspy. The B Woody 3.5 Racing heat exchanger, that's also on the vehicle. The Hellcat VVT camshaft, also installed. Drop-in dual fuel pump. I should have went with a triple, but I have the dual fuel pump. 1200cc injectors by FIC. Of course, 10% lower. I can't remember the upper pulley if it's 255 or 265. I'm going to go ahead and say it's 265. I will have to check, of course, on my invoices, but just off the top of my head. The boost reference adapter, that's the little red piece next to the supercharger. I didn't practice this speech. I didn't do how every YouTuber does and practices and scripts it. I'm going off the top of my head. Well, I have a list, but you know. B Woody upper and lower control arms. Whole suspension is B Woody except for the springs. The springs are Demon springs. That's why the vehicle sits so low. It's not on airbags. It's not cut springs. It's not lowering springs. Demon Performance 2-piece floating rotors. Had to upgrade that, being that the factory Hellcat disc was not holding up. At high rate of speed numerous times, the brakes would heat up and the vehicle wasn't stopping. It'll take its time stopping, and you know, that's not safe. As far as tires, I'm not a picky person. I know everybody has different preference and what they would like to run. Front tires are my Nittos NT 555s. We run a 285 3520. We're going to be replacing those for 275 3520, only because when you're driving straight, being that the car is so dropped now, when you hit a dip on the road, it'll scrape a little bit on the lip. It's not a big scrape, but it's enough where it bothers me. I don't drive the cars often, so when I do, I just notice a lot of little stuff. So we're gonna go with not so much of a wide tire, a little bit slimmer, so it can just clear that. The rear tires, I run 315s with the 20s, but being that I have the 17s as shown on the video, the bead locks, I like to run the Mickey Thompsons, the ET Street SS. They're semi-slicks, they're not full slicks, they're more like street slicks. I run those in a 305 45 17. And the reason for the 305 is when you have the 315s, once you're really stepping on the vehicle, the tire expands and it causes light rubbing on the lip. Going down the track or just any burnouts, I don't know, my preference, I went with the 305. To me, it runs better, it grips better, it's an all-around better feeling for the vehicle. The vehicle was last tuned by Dusterhoff. It was a remote tune. I'm not on the Diablo tuner, but the vehicle was tuned for E85. The vehicle was running very strong before this tune. We did 10.4, 10.5 was the average on the vehicle. That's what it was doing on a quarter mile, and it was on pump gas. Now that it was switched to E85, The lowest we've gotten the vehicle, I had a good rating on a good night. It was nice, full interior. I mean, I still had stuff in the trunk, nothing crazy, no boombox or anything like that. But we ran a 9.8 or 9.9. I have to find a slip because I keep all my track slips. I just have to go through here. It's in here somewhere. But yeah, we ran a 9.8, 9.9. So now hitting the 9-second barrier. Now switching over to E85 and having this new tune, we should see better numbers. I haven't been able to hit the track with this E85 full tune, being that Echo, of course, was sold. So whoever's in this area knows that now we don't have a neighborhood track. We have to travel elsewhere, which is, it's not a bother. I trailer the car anyway. But I did meet up with a new tuner. He's local. He's done a few cars in the neighborhood, and he's pretty good. My mechanic, which is Mopar Doctor.
Yeah, looks like it runs pretty good, Kev. It's nice and clean. Not bad. Pistons look good. Fan bearings look good. You got the heads off. Here they are. Look how size of these headers, Kev. Dude, these headers are bigger than I thought they were. Bro, they're like 2-inch primaries. That thing is huge, bro. That is huge. So there's your supercharger. But yeah, this pulley's gonna look good, bro. This pulley is gonna look so good on that with everything else you have, all the other red accents. It's pretty close. That's pretty damn close. She's looking good, brother. I'll have her done here tomorrow, probably. Heads will go back on with the new valve springs tomorrow. Just head studs. I see you got head studs. So that'll be a little bit more work, but no big deal. We'll put them on, get them all installed. And then I just got to do the couple little things, the gauges I got to wire up. Try to have it all done by Monday so we can get that tune from, that startup tune from Dustin Hoffer. And I can start data logging that on Monday. And then you can pick it up like Tuesday, Wednesday or whatever. All we need to do is get a couple runs in and send it to him. It's all good, buddy. It's all coming together, man. Yeah, these came out really good, these gauges, didn't they? That's how they're going to sit in the car. Well, actually, they'll sit. They'll actually sit like this. We'll sit like that. You'll see them like that. Yeah, I got to wire all this. So I'll let you know how I'm making out. I'll give you some heads up tomorrow. All right, brother. Later.
My mechanic, which is Mopar Doctor, he advises me that the guy's really good. So we're going to try him out. He's going to get the camshaft to stroke harder. I should be able to get more horsepower, better launch, better all 60 foot, better all quarter mile. So we should be hanging tight in the high end 9-second, range. The next build for the car, well, before we jump anything, let me see, we covered all that. Yeah, the next thing for the car that I would like to see and like to get done will be, of course, the supercharger. I want to change the supercharger. I don't want to port and polish the factory one. I just want to remove it and go with just like a supercharger, just changed out. There's going to be more to come. I don't want to spill the beans on everything that we want to do, but, and when I say we, I say me and my wife. We're the ones that really build and brainstorm and yeah, let's do this, yeah, let's do that, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot more to come. It's just been busy, other projects.
Say hello to my little friend.
Here's just the vehicle, how it's been.